I just thought of this new theory on Bastard versus PXG, and it's crazy. Hey guys, DarkheroJosh here, and I know what most of you guys are thinking. DarkheroJosh, why are you making theory videos? They aren't really your thing. Now, that may be true, but regardless, I came to my mic to record and share this theory with you guys because even I thought that this theory isn't too crazy, and it was pretty obvious once you actually get to hear it and think about it through a little bit. And when I started putting the pieces together, it made like way more sense. So just bear with me in this little theory video that I have as I explain the possible way for the current Isagi Yoichi to best the current Itoshi Rin in this match. Now let's dive straight into this theory. Hey guys, future DarkheroJosh here, and I just want to mention that by the time I was recording and scripting this video, it was before the release of chapter 253, or at least the leaks. And looking at that, it really does seem like this theory could be more true than I originally thought. But I just wanted to mention that I didn't like wait for this chapter to drop or anything. Yeah, so I just wanted you guys to know that this theory is 100% organic, 100% original by me, yours truly, DarkheroJosh. And with that, let's just dive straight into this theory. So, how is Isagi going to beat Rin? Now, as most of us have seen from the recent chapters of Blue Lock, that this man Rin has grown exponentially, and in all aspects too, from what Ness and Nagi have said about him. From being able to absolutely overwhelm Nagi in a one-on-one situation in the match against Manshine and PXG, to soloing Bastard's whole team, or midfield to be specific, and embarrass the two main faces of the team, being Isagi Yoichi and Michael Kaiser, by stopping one of the most broken weapons in Blue Lock, the Kaiser Impact, by stealing the ball before he could execute it completely, and give Isagi the VIP seat to his ascension to the world's best by luring him in to pick him up and shoot the ball with him watching, truly giving him that box seat. Now, I'm sure at this point, we all collectively agree that other than maybe Metavision, and that's a big maybe, Rin still has many things over Isagi in a multitude of departments like trapping, speed, technique, dribbling, core strength, etc. Now, some people still do believe that Isagi still has this in the bag against Rin because of his Metavision, and let's be honest, still, giving Isagi the benefit of the doubt that Rin's vision isn't completely on his level yet, Rin still has many other qualities that he's able to rely on, and excluding his adaptability skills, because I think a lot of people really downplay Rin in terms of adaptability, as if he wasn't adapting to his brother Sai throughout the entirety of the U20 match, and eventually take it a step further to one-up him during the end. Now, I'm sorry to say this to all the die-hearted Isagi fans out there, but if Isagi ever wishes to defeat the current Rin in this match, he's going to need some help, or at least in the meantime. Now, initially in my head, there were two people that were best suited to assist Isagi with this plan and get the job done. But obviously, due to the narrative that the story likes to push, I'm leaning more to one player more than the other. But after I explain this, you guys let me know in the comments down below who you're leaning more towards. Now, this is kind of funny, being that throughout everyone in Bastard Munich, these two are the least likely to help Isagi, but let me explain. Starting off with Michael Kaiser. From the beginning of the Neo Egos League, we were introduced to Kaiser not only as a crazy striker, a part of the new Gen World 11 along with Itoshi Sai, but a striker that surpasses Isagi's ideal version of himself. Now, I don't think you guys really understand how crazy being able to surpass someone's own ideals of themselves is. So really think about that. Now, time and time again in these matches, we've seen Isagi grow exponentially and eventually manage to usurp the title of Bastard's Ace and the one and only king on that team from Kaiser. Someone who he thought to be a genius that went beyond more than his current ideas could have went. So for him to do that in a very, very short amount of time just by studying him and with the help of his adaptability skills, improv, etc., that is absolutely crazy. Now, currently, these two are strong players individually, and was stated by some random in the series online that if they manage to set aside their differences and egos towards each other, they could become the greatest striker duo of their generation. And it would be very easy for them, especially being that they both have the same understanding of the sport and playstyle, so for them to practically read each other's minds during a play wouldn't be as impossible as most would think. All that would be needed was some trust to bring these two together. Now, this doesn't seem so bad of a theory, but other than that Twitter comment we saw in that Blue Lock chapter, indicating that if they work together, they could be something generationally great, there is still not a lot of proof to back it up. Which brings me to my second player, the one I'm leaning on more for this to happen, Kunigami Rensuke. Now, the way I thought about this really clicked in after I made the connection of how dominant Rin is in this match against Bastard, and how it's a lot like how dominant he was in the second selection arc in the 4v4 match against Team Isagi. Now, yes, I know Rin's been dominant throughout the series of Blue Lock, and he's always stood at the top, being Blue Lock's #1, but in this arc, the feeling was on a whole different level, and I know some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It really felt as if Rin was some untouchable player, and honestly, if Team Isagi did win in that moment in that 4v4, Rin still would have undoubtedly been the best player among all of them, and that's exactly how it feels right now in this match. Now, how Team Isagi was able to score their second goal against Team Rin in the 4v4 match, and more importantly, how Isagi was able to duke it out with Rin evenly in that moment for that goal, was due to the help of Nagi Seishiro. By becoming the one step Isagi always felt short of to Rin, being the difference in physical ability between the two, they were able to stand up to Rin and attain a goal from it. Now, obviously, due to this comparison that I'm making with both arcs, this can also go for Kaiser, but the difference is that as players, Isagi and Kaiser are honestly one and the same, let's be honest, which in turn would make them a stronger striker duo, but honestly, I don't think that this duo would be necessary to duke it out with the likes of Rin, or at least evenly. Now, the reason that I use evenly is that if I'm comparing to the moments in both arcs, I want to make this comparison as close as possible and not go over it too much, which is where Kunigami falls in. When Kunigami was reintroduced out of the wild card in the beginning of this arc, we learned of how much his physical stats benefited from it, ultimately gaining the closest body to Noah, including ambidexterity, becoming, if not, the most physically capable player in Blue Lock, more than the likes of, I'd say, even Uber's Baro. Now, being that both Kunigami and Isagi know each other pretty well from ever since the first selection and possess something that the other doesn't, just like how Nagi and Isagi both possess something that the other didn't have as much as, if they both were to team up, they'd be able to fight against Rin on some sort of equal footing, or at least way more equal footing compared to Rin versus Kaiser and Isagi, leaving Shiro to Kaiser in the battle of who can make the impossible possible. Now, knowing Kunigami and Isagi's history with each other, this possibility / outcome makes even more sense, at least narratively, than Isagi and Kaiser. But then I remembered how in chapter 248, Ego confirmed that he was using Isagi to raise the levels of everyone else in Blue Lock to create the world's best player, telling Kunigami to throw away his own ego, to where he responds saying yes. Now, this could also explain Kunigami's lack of performance in the couple other matches he's played in, and the decisions that he's made, like stealing Isagi's goal, forcing him to keep evolving in the Manshine City match, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. With Ego telling this to Kunigami, this kind of pushes it more for Kunigami to help Isagi, or at least give him a hand to fight Rin evenly. Now, obviously, this really depends on how the flow of the game goes, so I'm going to predict the two possible paths that this can go down. With Shiro already scoring the first goal for PXG, I want to say that Kaiser is going to score the first goal for Bastard, equalizing the score. Then Rin scores the second goal for PXG. Then Isagi and Kunigami have some sort of chemical reaction going on to make the score 2-2, with Kunigami most likely scoring, obviously. Or the second path, having Rin score the second goal for PXG right after Shiro did, having the score being 2-0, putting Bastard in a very desperate situation where Isagi and Kunigami come in, have some crazy chemical reaction moment to get Bastard their first goal, with Kunigami scoring, of course. And the reason why I want Kunigami to score this goal is to back up the Egoist 4 theory, having all the members of the Egoist 4 scoring the first goal for their matches throughout the Neo Egoist League, and Kaiser scoring the equalizing goal to make the score 2-2, and make it seem like Isagi's drawing the short end of the stick from Kaiser and Rin in their little three-way battle, having yet to score in this match, leaving the final goal for both teams in both paths for either Isagi or Rin to snatch, as they'll both be fighting against each other with no help. With this match heavily implying that many players are going to have to clash and cross their visions of themselves being the best in the world, this theory really seems like it can come true. But yeah, that was my little theory on how Isagi will be able to beat the current Rin, or in other words, Kunigami's true purpose in this PXG match. If you guys did enjoy this video or theory video, whatever you want to call it, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and comment down below what other things Blue Lock should I talk about next on the channel. And without further ado, I hope you guys do have a great day, and see ya.